Hey, welcome back to the Crash Bandicoot Let's Play. We're now on part 7. We're going to be going into Slippery Climb, which, if it's not the hardest level in the game, it's definitely up there, because Slippery Climb is a huge endurance test. It's pure platforming, and it puts your platforming skills to the test. It's extremely long, and getting the gem in this is, I think it's at its peak of difficulty in this game. It's a huge level. It only has one checkpoint in the entire level. And if you get that checkpoint, because you have to, because the checkpoint counts as a box in this game, and you end up dying, then you have to do like 3/4 of the level again, which sucks, because, again, it's a very long level. Thankfully, we don't need a colored gem in order to get the gem in this level, because if we did, then that would really send this level over the fucking edge of tolerance, because it's already a hard enough level as it is. And the platforming gimmicks that they make you do in this stage isn't exactly easy and can mess you up. And seeing as you're over bottomless pits like half the time, one slip up and you gotta press start and select and do the stage over again, which is never fun. Thankfully I did this in one run, and believe me, it took a lot of practice, because I did do a test playthrough. Obviously I do test playthroughs for all my Let's Plays, just in case I forget something, and you know, I'll always have it fresh in my head so I can do it again and play to the best of my ability. And, you know, the first time I played this, I must have died like a dozen times maybe until I got that gem. So, all I can say is practice makes perfect, and I definitely was not perfect when I was test recording for the game. So there aren't really any enemies in this stage. There's a scientist that throws potion bottles at you and they explode, but there's only 2 of them in the stage, and they come after the checkpoint, and they're so easy to kill anyway. They're not really enemies anyway. They're just pushovers. The real enemy in this level is the platforming, and you got all sorts of types of platforming. You got, you know, platforms going up and down. You got platforms retracting and coming in and out of the walls. And these ones are the worst. The ones that rotate in a circle, those ones are okay, but the ones that rotate in a circle and move left to right at the same time, that's where it messes me up. And that's what messes up most people, is these ones are just terrible, because they're not going in a circle, they're going in like a weird oval type shape, which could really throw you off. Then you got these birds, which are either flying in place or they're flying up and down, and you just have to use these birds to get a little more jump, a little more height in your jumps, so that you can make the gaps that the level is making you face. And I think there's like a section where you have to jump on 3 birds at the same time. You really got to use these birds to get more height, and one screw up and you're going into a bottomless pit, because all of these birds are flying over bottomless pits. Actually, you see those spikes? You saw like a spike just right there, right before we went to the bonus stage. If you have an Aku Aku mask, you can actually hit that and save yourself. So I guess you have that, but again, you're wasting an Aku Aku mask, and you kind of need those. So we're in a Brio stage right now, and man, I just kick ass at Brio stages, because these are tough. These are some tough little puzzle obstacles you got to get through, and it really doesn't matter anyway. I mean, you got like 6-7 lives in that, but I'm already at 99 lives anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I'm just showing off my skill because I'm a huge narcissist, and I love it when I'm praised for my skill. That's it. I just love being worshipped by everyone, because I need that. I need your worship. It's the only thing that makes me feel good in life. Anyway, this part sucks. Did you see that? I almost died right there. Oh man, that is the hardest set of boxes probably in the entire game, because you have to wait. Again, you have to get into those little sections inside the walls, and there are 2 boxes there, and once you get them, you have to drop down onto those 2 platforms, which are going in an oval shape, which can really mess you up. And thankfully I made it. I just barely made it though, and I died plenty trying to get the gem right at the end. It's right at the end too. You have to, of course it'd be at the end, right? Because you only have 1 shot, and then once you screw up, you got to do like 4 minutes of gameplay just to try again. Fuck. But thankfully I did it in my first try, and we never have to play that level again. So now we're going to move on to Lights Out, and this is the first stage that is going to reflect the actions that actually not us, but that Pinstripe did when we faced him in the boss battle. If you recall, when we were facing Pinstripe, right when we beat him, he goes ballistic with his machine gun, and he ends up shooting the glass and destroying the generator that's behind him. And that generator is actually powering Cortex Tower, and because that generator is destroyed, most of the power in Cortex Tower is gone. So theoretically, if the generator is still up and running, then this stage wouldn't be dark, but because it's inevitability and Pinstripe will be shooting that generator one way or another, there's no like optional secret thing that you can avoid. You know, I kind of like that though, because it is reflecting like type of events that are happening as you go on through the islands. So I like that. But the stage itself, I don't really like. And I'll tell you why. It's because you're staring at Crash's ass the entire time, and the camera angle is horrible. Especially for these jumps. Okay, most of the jumps are just like, you know, at this certain distance where all you have to do is hold forward while you're jumping, because it's usually at a distance which is Crash's max jumping distance. So it isn't too big of a deal there, but with these types of platforms that are going back and forth, it's really hard to tell where you're going exactly. And it really sucks. So Lights Out is an entirely dark level, and the only reason that I'm able to see in this level is because I'm getting these Aku Aku masks, which for some reason now Aku Aku can provide light. I don't really know why. You know, in the later games, there are stages like this where the level is completely dark, but they have like fireflies that give you light instead of the Aku Aku mask. I really don't know why they decided to just make Aku Aku, you know, give off light. And plus, it sucks that he gives off light, because if you get hit, then Aku Aku's gone and you lose that light. So not only do you have to move fairly quickly to get another Aku Aku mask, you have to move fairly quickly and not get hit unless you want to be in the dark. And as I recall, it's not completely in darkness. Like, it's not 100% darkness, but it's like 90-95%. You can faintly see things, but you can't really see the floor underneath you, so you're gonna have to guess most of the time, which usually guessing in that level leads to death. Thankfully it's not that long though, but unfortunately there is another level like that, and that level is a pain in my dick, cause oh god, we'll get to that later. I don't even want to talk about that level really. So Jaws of Darkness, it's another temple level, and this one is extremely long and tedious. Like most of the later stages are. It doesn't pose any new threats. It's the same gimmicks. It's the same bullshit platforming, and you know, the snakes and the spiders, the fire torches, everything. It's all the same as the last temple level, you know. It's just different level design and extremely long level design, because I don't understand why this stage is so long. These endurance tests are getting ridiculous, and on top of that, you do need the blue gem to complete this stage, and there are Cortex icons. So these are the second Cortex set of icons in the entire game. There's only two, and this stage has the second set of them, which unlock the secret special stage that I also loathe, and is the equivalent to Lights Out. It's the same gimmick as Lights Out, except they make it extremely long and difficult, and it gets to be pretty ridiculous in that stage, because it is so hard, and there's actually boxes that are hidden in that stage, which I don't know if many people would get on their first try. I'm pretty sure not. And if you even though you know where they are, they're still hard to get. So in conclusion, fuck that level. It's probably my most hated level in this entire game. I hate it to death, and I'm not looking forward to doing it and commentating over it, because I just hate that level. And I've died so many times, it's uncountable how many times I've died in that stage and ripping my hair out. I think I had to take a break at one point, because practicing for this Let's Play was just too much. It just pisses me off. And of course I had to die on one of the longest stages in the game, so now I can't get the gem and I can't get the secret stage, so we're gonna have to go back to this when we're gem collecting, which sucks, because I thought I had the blue gem, right? And I was complaining about the blue gem before, saying that we have to backtrack because the blue gem is so special that we need the boxes in other stages with. So I thought, nice, you know, I don't need the blue gem, I just have to jump over all these gems to get the extra boxes, and then I end up fucking up, and I was so pissed that I ended up missing a Cortex icon along the way, because I thought, fuck, I'm not going to get the rest of the boxes. I might as well just fucking end this level and move on with my life. But I completely forgot about the Cortex icons until after the stage was done. So this is probably like my lowest point of the entire Let's Play in terms of skill, because I just fucked up entirely. I mean, I just got squished by those pillars. I mean, no one gets squished by those things. I'm fucking pathetic. I fucking suck at this. So we're not even close to being done with Jaws of Darkness, so I might as well tell you the bullshit that comes along with this stage. So if you ride that blue gem, you come to the first set of boxes. And if you've seen last time when I was there and then I died, you see that there's 2 steel crates to the right. Now, you're actually supposed to jump on those steel crates and then, using your head, jump and hit an extra life crate that is off screen. And it doesn't give you a hint or anything like that. It's just off screen, and you better be lucky, or you better be looking at a guide, because, you know, it doesn't tell you, and it's just a complete shot in the dark. It's just one crate. And, you know, nothing would piss me off more than to finish a stage expecting all the boxes to be broken, and then seeing one box is not broken. Like, especially for a stage this long, it's terrible. And this snake as well is just a pain in everyone's dick, not just my dick. Like, as you just saw, I got a Neo Cortex icon for breaking one of these boxes, but the problem with the snake is that you can't jump on it because it hits you first, so you have to spin into it. But if you spin into it straight on, it hits the TNT box and then breaks all the other boxes around it, so including the Neo Cortex icon, so you can't get it. Which is ridiculous. You're not supposed to know that on your first time. This whole level is all about trial and error, and it pisses me off. Levels like this aggravate me with no end, because someone who has, you know, a decent amount of skill can get through a stage as long as there's no bullshit secrets in it, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't like this stage either. I don't like Jaws of Darkness, and I don't like the secret stage that you get in Jaws of Darkness. So, Jaws of Darkness is just probably the worst part about this game, by far. And gem collecting. Jaws of Darkness and gem collecting. That's what Crash 1 is for me. Terrible experience. No, it's not a total terrible experience, but it's clearly like a work in progress. Again, I'd say that this game is an experiment. It's an experimental game. They want to try things out, and it's a good start. It's a decent start. But for someone like me, and for someone who wants to get into a Crash series but hasn't played it throughout their childhood, this is definitely not an appealing game. So the Tawna bonus stage is right at the end of the level. We're pretty much done with Jaws of Darkness, and right at the end of the level is actually the Neo Cortex icon as well. I actually just missed it. There's a set of invisible platforms that you have to ride on. Instead of going right, which you saw me do right before I got this Tawna icon, you have to go left onto these invisible platforms, and it'll be a large set of boxes, and that's where the third Neo Cortex icon is. And, you know, I was frustrated, and I just wanted to get done with this level, so we'll get back to it when we're gem hunting and completing this game 100%. But until next time, I'll see you in part 8.